Only when Xiaoyan saw the Hall Master of the Hall of Souls, with his own eyes did he truly feel the terrifying pressure emitted from the man. Following the previous events, the purifying demonic lotus flame was indeed frightening powerful enough to burn an entire colossal mountain range into a vast desert. Even Yao Lao couldn't help but inhale sharply as he gazed at the boundless white desert before them, his expression filled with shock. Xiaoyan nodded slightly. Flames surged from within his body, spreading outward to envelop all members of the alliance, easing the burning sensation on their skin. He then lifted his head toward the distant sky, where the very fabric of space had been torn open. A milky white radiance poured out from the spatial crack. The space ceiling the purifying demonic lotus flame has shattered, yet the heavenly flame still hasn't fully revealed itself. It must be inside that spatial domain. This milky white light is merely its lingering heat. Xiaoyan spoke calmly as he observed the phenomenon. Lingering heat. Even the normally fearless Ziyan couldn't help but pale at those words. If a mere trace of residual heat could transform high mountains into deserts, then what kind of terrifying existence awaited within the spatial pocket itself? Not long after Xiaoyan's group arrived above the desert, sounds of wind tearing echoed continuously. One after another, figures stopped in the air, keeping a considerable distance from the spatial crack. It seems that to obtain the purifying demonic lotus flame, we have no choice but to enter that space, Yao Lao said after watching for a while. No need to rush. That place is undoubtedly filled with deadly danger. We're not suited to be the first to charge in. Xiaoyan shook his head. Even he could sense an overwhelming aura of peril from within. If their group recklessly rushed in, the number of people who could return alive would be countable on one hand. Just as Xiaoyan's group silently waited, the surrounding space suddenly twisted. A thick surge of black mist erupted like a flood from the spatial crack. An aura that made one's heart tremble and legs weaken spread quietly, instantly drawing everyone's attention. Moments later, the black mist slowly dissipated, revealing three figures within everyone's field of view. It was the Hall Master of the Hall of Souls. 4 simple words, yet they carried unrivaled prestige throughout Central Plains. Although his notoriety was built upon countless rivers of blood, aside from the newly risen Tianfu alliance, almost no faction dared openly display hostility toward him. This was due both to the powerful Han clan behind him and to his own fearsome might. In ancient times, the Hall Master had once massacred dozens of sects in a single night. 5-peak 2-star Dao Sheng experts met brutal deaths at his hands. That night cemented his infamous reputation and established the Hall of Souls as the dominant ruler of Central Plains, so much so that even the Pill Tower dared not easily provoke them. Now this once peerless tyrant who had shaken the entire region hovered silently in mid-air. His eyes were calm like an old monk in meditation, completely unmoved by the reverent or hateful gazes directed at him. Xiaoyan also stared intently at the figure. The soul fluctuations emanating from the man's body were identical to the powerful soul aura Xiaoyan had encountered just days prior. Sensing Xiaoyan's gaze, the Hall Master slowly turned his head, examining him from top to bottom. A cold voice echoed. The Xiao clan has already fallen, yet one of its descendants still possesses such talent. It seems my Hall of Souls has been negligent. Behind the Hall Master, a figure stepped forward slightly, his gaze filled with icy resentment. It was the Deputy Hall Master of the Hall of Souls. Hall Master, this youth is extremely cunning. Although we did not pay him much attention before, the experts dispatched should have been more than enough to kill him. Yet every time he turned misfortune into fortune, and his strength has only grown. The Hall Master remained silent for a moment, then spoke faintly. Given enough time, this child may become another Xiao Xuan. Hearing the Hall Master evaluate Xiaoyan so highly, the Deputy Hall Master gaped in disbelief, then quickly turned toward the silent figure, standing beside him, and let out an awkward laugh. No matter how strong that brat is, he can't compare to our young clan leader. Even if Xiaoyan becomes another Xiaoxuan, the ending of Xiaoxuan wasn't exactly glorious. Under the Hall Master's quiet gaze, the silent figure slowly lifted his head. Sunlight illuminated a face that looked to be around 30 years old. The most striking feature was his eyes pitch black, pure darkness without a trace of white, like 2 black pearls embedded deep in his sockets. The man slightly tilted his head, glancing at Xiaoyan from afar, and spoke with an unhurried tone. He is a troublesome opponent. However, I should be able to kill him. Ha ha, of course. Although young clan leader is only at the late 2-star Dao Sheng level, even I fear I cannot defeat you. Crushing that Xiaoyan, who's only an early 2-star Dao Sheng, is nothing more than lifting a hand. The black-robed man narrowed his dark eyes, withdrawing his gaze from Xiaoyan. He then looked toward the shattered stretch of space and asked, "When do we take action?" "When the purifying demonic lotus flame breaks through the last layer of the seal. Doing so will exhaust a great amount of its energy. When it is about to force its way out of the spatial domain, we will strike," the Hall Master responded calmly. The black-robed man nodded gently. His pure black eyes once again swept over Xiaoyan in the distance before he slowly closed them. "So that's the Hall Master of the Hall of Souls. He is indeed terrifying." The experts led by Huoyun Ancestor withdrew their gazes, their expressions grave. Xiaoyan nodded lightly. Seeing the man in person allowed him to truly sense the unfathomable depth the Hall Master possessed. "A formidable enemy. Be cautious," he said softly. Beside him, Ziyan shifted half a step forward, instinctively standing between Xiaoyan and the Hall Master. Among everyone present, she was perhaps the only one capable of blocking him, even if her chances of victory were slim. "Don't worry, before they obtain the purifying demonic lotus flame, they won't act rashly," Xiaoyan reassured with a faint smile. "Ha ha, brother, Xiaoyan, you've come to join the fun too?" Right as Xiaoyan finished speaking, a voice filled with laughter echoed out. Several figures appeared beside him. Xiaoyan turned toward the sound and cupped his hands with a smile. "So it's Brother Huo Xuan. It's been a while, how have things been?" The one leading the group was someone Xiaoyan had met in the ancient realm, the member of the Yan clan Huo Xuan. Beside him stood the masked girl in red, and this time, an elderly man in purple robes as well. "Brother Xiaoyan, you are truly remarkable. In just a few years, you've already reached the Dusheng realm." "Haha, brother. Hasen, you yourself are already a high-level semi-sage. Inside your body." Xiaoyan examined Huoxuan carefully, then suddenly exclaimed, "You refined a heavenly flame. With the help of the elders, I managed to subdue the 8 desolate destruction flame, the flame guarded by my clan. Otherwise, I wouldn't have advanced so quickly." Huoxuan replied with a calm smile. The 8 desolate destruction flame ranked 6th on the heavenly flame ranking. Truly worthy of an ancient clan. "Brother Xiaoyan, this is Elder Huoyao of our Yan clan. He also possesses a heavenly flame, the 16th ranked Firecloud Water Flame. Another heavenly flame." Xiaoyan could only smile bitterly. The 3 Yan clan members before him represented 3 different heavenly flames, adding the 5 heavenly flames within his own body. Didn't that make 8 heavenly flames gathered in one place? "Not just 8, you know." A clear, melodious voice like wind chimes echoed beside Xiaoyan's ear, as if responding to his thoughts. "Xun recognizing the familiar voice, Xiaoyan's expression instantly lit up with unrestrained joy. "Don't forget to subscribe. Your support brings us one step closer to hitting Do D realm."